Couple of important logistics. Make sure that you sign in at the beginning of every chunk of the day. So at the SLAM, the sign-in link is on the chat, pinned to the chat. And then at the deep dive, beginning of the deep dive session, you will have your presenter will give you a unique link for signing into that session. And then at the beginning of the sandbox, they will give you another sign-in link. So you'll sign in 3 times today. The presenter will give you those second 2 at 10 and at 11. Please do not sign in ahead of time, because if you pre-sign in for sessions, like if right now you just went through and signed in for all 3 sessions, those timestamps wouldn't match, and then payroll deletes them, because it all has to match up for, budgeting purposes, and we're getting audited this year, so it's even more specifically monitored. And then the attendance records from Google Meet will be cross-referenced with the sign-in sheets. So that is that. Since we are doing 45-minute chunks, there's the 3 45-minute chunks. It's going to be up to 2.5 hours of pay for the day. So if you stay for all 3 parts, it's 2.5 hours, not 3, because we can't pay you for breaks. But those breaks are really important, because 3 hours on the screen is not good for you. And then we anticipate that pay will be dispersed on February 10th, since it's still nice and early in the month of January. So if you have any questions about that, go ahead and put them in the chat, or you can email me later. If for some reason you have any issues with sign-in, just go ahead and send me and Amber an email. Okay, so quick introductions here. These are our presenters. We have 7 sessions, so we have 8 presenters, because Jessica and Kylie from Edpuzzle will be presenting together. So start with myself. My name is Jen Rogers. I'm District Ed Tech, and I like to paint. That's why I picked that emoji, or Bitmoji. Next.
I guess that's me. Hi, everyone. Brian Tuminelli, Ed Tech at Alvarez, and I'm talking formative today.
Scott, you here?
I'll go ahead.
Trying to see if Scott's on. Go ahead.
I'm Amber Dodd, and I will be I'm one of the other district ed techs, and I will be presenting on Canva today.
Woohoo!
Hi, my name is Erica Kraft. I'm the art teacher at WMS, and my background's actually in 3D and 3D animation and film. And I worked for Boeing Airlines for a while, making government contracts and stuff like that. So my goal today is to show you how to bring 3D into the classroom and get your kids excited.
Woohoo! We love that.
Awesome. Hi, my name's Avra Robinson, and I am the representative from CAMI. So we're going to talk CAMI specifically through the lens of universal design for learning. So it'll be fun.
Hey everyone, I'm Beth Graham. I will be talking about Edpuzzle today. I'm here with my colleague Kylie Griffin, and we're going to be going over Edpuzzle in the UDL lens as well, and talking about some of our exciting new features that we have out.
Awesome. And I just saw that Scott is having some tech issues, so I don't know if you're able to unmute and introduce yourself. Otherwise, you want me to introduce you? Okay. Well, Scott Rose, he's going to be talking about making videos, and he is from Alvarez. Everett Alvarez. Okay. Thank you, presenters. Get to the right thing again here. All right, so I'm going to be going first today, and I'm going to be talking about Notebook LM, which is a very cool tool. We got a question? No, okay, that was accident. So Notebook LM is a Google AI tool, and it is part of our Google Suite. It is free for teachers. I think it's actually free for everybody. So we're going to talk about what makes Notebook LM different from Gemini or ChatGPT, and that is control. So you can actually really control, this in the wrong order, control what your AI, what input is going into it. So part of your input is the prompt that you write, but then also from all the sources that it pulls. So ChatGPT sources from everywhere, right? And that's why sometimes it's not correct, because it's getting information from, could be Uncle Bob's basement. But what is cool about Notebook LM is that you control the sources that it uses. And so you can put all the sources in, and it only takes information from those sources to give you the output. So actually use Gemini to generate a list of features, and this is what it came up with. So source grounding is kind of what I was talking about in a fancy Gemini term. Like you ground the sources that you use. So by using PDFs, websites, YouTubes and documents and things like that. So I'm going to show you that shortly. But I'm going to show you a quick what Notebook LM looks like. So I used to teach science. Well, I'm still a science teacher, because you're always thinking science teacher when you're a science teacher. So I took a bunch of resources from my natural selection unit, and I put them in here. So this is the way Notebook LM is structured. It has the sources over here. And so I just took a bunch of things that I had in Google Drive. I cut and pasted some text in there. I also picked some websites and some YouTube videos. And so you can kind of see a list of all of my sources here. And so what that means is that anything that comes out of Notebook LM from either the chat or the studio or any of the resources that it makes for me, that it outputs, will only come from the sources that I give it, instead of pulling from everywhere on the web. It does now have a feature where you can pull from the web, but I think that's what makes Notebook LM special, is being able to control that. So then everything that has come through my chat, that information only comes from the sources I provide. And then this part, the studio, has really expanded over the past year. And so where it used to have an audio overview, which is basically a podcast, which is like mind-blowingly cool when we first saw it, now it also does video, an infographic, a slide deck, makes a quiz for you. And so I made some of these to show you kind of what it looks like. So here's a mind map that it made based on the resources that I gave it. Kind of cut off the side of the screen here, but so I can look at, okay, well, I want to talk more about these case studies. So let's open that. So it gives me 5 of the case studies from my sources. Okay, I want to look at domesticated dogs, as mind maps underneath me. Human canine bond. Okay, that's pretty cool. So then it pulls from that, and it's scanning the text about this information, and it's going to give me a little synopsis here in the chat as it thinks about it. Okay. Coming back to the studio, I also had it make a infographic for me about, and I didn't give it any specific things to look for. I just said infographic, I believe anyway. So it gave me an infographic about this adaptation of these dark mice on light surfaces, kind of like peppered moths. Oops. And I had it make me a video, which you won't be able to hear the sound, but if I can just kind of play it for you real quick. Make it go big. There we go. Okay, so I know you can't hear it because of the way I'm sharing my screen, but what if you could hear, it's narrating through these different pictures that it made, excuse me, to give me basically a video overview that's almost 8 minutes long about the information that I provided from my various sources over here, from YouTube videos, from slides that I had made over the years, and all of the different, even my tickets in the door, like everything's in there, that it pulled from everything that is in my sources and made a video for me, which is just so cool. It also can make quizzes and flashcards and all kinds of stuff. So that is kind of what we're going to be looking at. I think I'm going well over my 5 minutes, but I get excited. That's what we're going to be looking at today in my session. Liam.
Sweet. All right, my turn, right?
All right. Next up is, sorry, I was reading this message is there. Next up, we have the amazing Brian.
I don't know what you were going to say before that, though.
I was trying to come up with something that sounded like formative, but then it was like, that's not right. Okay.
That's okay. All right. Hi, everybody. Again, my name is Brian Tuminelli. I'm the ed tech at Alvarez, and I'm going to be presenting today on formative, and I like this title, it's formative and snow much more, because we got to go with the winter theme after all. And so we're going to be sharing a couple things here on formative, and I know basically that formative, you can go to the next slide, Jen. Formative is now a way of life in our district. A lot of you have used it with our district assessments, and I know a lot of you maybe have that little chill on your spine as you think about sometimes the issues that you've had with formative. And I get that. And the idea of maybe building assessments, rebuilding and everything gets a little daunting. So maybe your only experience with formative has been checking it out and has been, building maybe a couple of assessments and that's it. But what I wanted to share with formative is a little bit more and dive deeper into some of the power and ease that formative can bring to your teaching practice, to your assessments, and not just assessments, but even just lessons in the classroom. So I do say it is more than just assessments, even though we use it for our district assessments. There is a lot more. It is very much like Edpuzzle, though I will say now that we have Edpuzzle people here, it's not truly a full-on substitute, so don't worry. There's a lot to learn. I love Edpuzzle. I'm an Edpuzzle lover, so don't worry. But they do have similar features when it comes to things like videos on that. So a lot of teachers I know have used that in the past. For our teachers who've used Nearpod in the past as well, there are teacher and student paced lessons. I'm not going to platform fight. Go to Edpuzzle session 2. It's great. I promise. Good teacher student paced lessons with real-time feedback, just like we had with Nearpod. And there is similarities to Kami as well, which we have a lot of people who love Kami here as well. So there's ways to add videos and text to PDF to make lessons interactive. And I want to be able to add some of this stuff for you during my session. Next slide, Jen, real quick. So I want to share, before I kind of share a cool thing to give you an idea of how you could utilize formative. My session is great for those who have already used formative and know how to build a formative on your own. So we're going to be kind of not going through those steps on question types and things like that in this session. We are going to be looking at other features that make your life easier, make your teaching easier, and you can use in your classroom. So that's what we're going to be looking for. And I want to share my screen now, Jen, real quick. So I'm going to just jump in here because I do want to share what you could do with it yourself. So I'm going to share my formative screen real quick. So here is formative for you. I just want to make sure it's there. Perfect. One of the easy things, and I know for a lot of us, the idea of building an assessment or whatever is difficult. A lot of us have assessments already built in different platforms in different ways. And a lot of times you could be like, okay, I can rebuild it in formative, but that just takes a lot of time, copying and pasting everything over. And I'm just used to doing it the way I do it. And so what's the point? What's the issue? Well, I'm going to show you what you could do because it's pretty awesome. So to transfer easily, maybe a test you've created on a Google Doc that you've standard like printed before, you can actually transfer it over to formative and be pretty accurate. I'm going to show you how. So this is my formative home page under create. I'm going to scroll all the way down to where it says import with Google, because that's where my test is. And I'm not sure you can see the pop-up. Oh, good, you can. Excellent. You'll see you'll be asked to select a file. I'm going to head on over to documents here because that's where my formative is. There it is. And I'm going to select my test. And this is selecting the Google Doc that I have with the test. So give it 1 second to generate here. And you can see it's taken my picture. It's taken my test. And I have 2 pages of it. So both of them are selected. Now, the cool tool, we could add these images directly and they're PDFs there, and you could work with that. But this feature here called add-parse with AI takes your documents and turns it, AI looks through your questions and creates a formative based on that. So I'm going to hit add parse with AI. give it a little bit of time to work. And if it takes too long, guess what? I've already practiced this and done this, so I can go to the other one as well. So let's see if it's going to be quick. If not, I don't want to waste a ton of time waiting for it to generate. But what it is doing, it's going through those pictures, which they made into PDFs, and it is looking and scanning through what questions are being asked, what types of questions are being asked, and trying to replicate it within the formative system. So since it may take a little bit, I'm just going to go back to the home page and show you what that could look like. I'm going to head over to my activity. So, oh, generating complete. So I guess it worked. Let's take a look at it. So this is what came up with. And you'll see here, it does, and we should probably take note, just like all AI, it screws up, it has issues. Some things like this stuff over here may not work, but these are the directions and the names. Good thing is you can just delete it and get rid of it. But you'll see here, it's taken my questions from my original formative, created it into a multiple choice format, if you noticed here, and has given me correct answers and even, generated some hints right here. So, which is kind of a cool thing. So this is multiple choice. It does give some ideas here of, here's multiple select or things like that. Here's a free response question. They have matching, all this stuff that comes directly from my formative. The great thing is, obviously, as we know, AI is not perfect. AI is going to screw up. Okay, we should not trust it fully 100%. So what you just do is you go through and you can edit to fit your need. What I liked about it is it gives all of that answer keys, hints, everything, and you just edit it. Takes a few minutes and you're done, which is really cool. So happy to share more about that in my session. If you want to come by, Jen, you can take over presenting now. And but thanks for listening, and slam. I don't have the cool animation, sorry, but there you go.
Don't worry, I'll throw a snowball at you guys right now.
Yeah, let's
Wait
go.
for it.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Brian. Slam. All right. Next up, we have Scott. Are you, is your technical difficulties worked through?
Yes, I think I resolved them. Can you guys hear me?
We definitely can hear you. Thank you. Welcome, Scott.
Okay, good. All right. You know, that's what you love about technology. Great when it works, not so great when it doesn't. So basically, I'll be really brief. My EdTech Slam for this year is a filmmaking bootcamp. So a lot of you are shooting a lot of video on your phones and making these videos in class using AI to help you make videos, and that's great. But the problem is that we're not getting very high quality videos. So basically, I'm going to show you how we do it professionally. Like basically, my slide presentation is a resource. So I'm going to go through some parts kind of fast that you can go back and refer to, and then some other parts, you know, for example, like editing is something a lot of people always want to know more about. Slow down a bit, give you some free tools, give you some paid tools, give you some ideas on how to become a better editor. Right now we have AI that's helping a lot. However, AI has no idea how to edit a video yet, or how to do a good job. I mean, I've tried it, so I've had some experience. I've tried different free apps, different cameras, and so forth. And it kind of looks okay, but not really, because it doesn't know what exactly to do. It just kind of like makes something up. And so my job is to show you how to make a video from an idea, how to create an outline, a script, and then illustrate a storyboard, and then grab your camera or smartphone and to film a report with some good audio. I'm also going to show you how to get that media off your phone and how to get it off your camera into a computer or a Chromebook, and follow 10 easy steps on how to create a good video. And yes, you can use AI to help you. You can use AI to generate some content as well, but at the end of the day, it's you, the creator behind it, who decides how to put the video together. And my job here is to elevate the whole district in making better videos for everyone, because with YouTube, social media, and all other things like that, we want to make sure that the quality of our videos here in Salinas are better than all the other schools. And with my industry experience, I'm here to show you how to do that and some easy steps. And then, of course, you can take it further. You can spend your whole life studying this. So that's my goal today. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Scott. Now I lost my window. Hold on. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Gotta get that slam in there. Slam. No.
All
Where's it?
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties now. There we are. No, that didn't work. There we go. Okay. We got our slam. There we go. Okay. Next up,
Ooh.
the amazing Amber.
And Jen, I might have you if never mind. We'll just go. I want to kind of honor our
wanna
time
drive,
too, so I'm
or-
gonna go fast. What?
Okay.
No, because it's just on the slides too. But so I'm going to be talking about Canva, which is one of my favorite things ever as a semi-creative person, say digitally creative person. I love Canva, and this is my journey of like how I fell in love with Canva a little bit. So in the classroom, I was using Google Slides a lot, but one of my biggest pet peeves about Google Slides is that I had to only insert one like YouTube video at a time. So as somebody who likes to have music in their classroom, as students walk in, I was listening to the same song 6 times in a row. And what really made me switch to Canva, it's very small, but very big for me, was the ability to insert music playlist and pretty much embed anything into Canva. And so this is kind of what really made me go, okay, I should pay more attention to Canva, was this like little thing of being able to insert music playlist. So within the Canva presentation, you can actually scroll through the music playlist and play songs. So I could jump in, I had students create playlists and then put like on Spotify or wherever I was creating playlists and put that in and put that music in. I know the music thing, that's like what grabbed me, and I know it grabs a lot of you guys too. And then you can also embed slides and docs and more. My presentation, we're going to go Canva on Canvas on Canvas, because you can keep embedding in Canvas within there. And it's really awesome, especially as I'm teaching and I have a Google slide on like a concept that I don't want to recreate. I can just embed them into Canva and use them within Canva and not have to switch slides or switch things all around. Go ahead and switch to the other slide. Oh, I think I messed myself up. There's also lots of really easy tools for presenting here too. So when you're in presenter mode, you have tools like you have like a little like laser light you can do. You can have a lot of these fun emoji type things. So you can have curtains close and you can do confetti and you can do a lot of different things there. I'm not in the presentation mode and I want to kind of make sure we have everybody's time to present, but then you can also insert timers too really easily within there. The other thing that I love about Canva, and also what really sold me in the classroom on Canva to use it more often, was the ability to do live editing. As somebody who tends to do things, or like, you know, we all have that, like where you misspelled a word, you did something and now you're presenting and you have it on the full screen. We can do live edits. So right now I'm adding in our snowman, and Jen does not have to stop presenting for it to show. It's just showing there as well. Oh yeah, and Jen mentioned the one thing I forgot. Using your phone as a remote. So I can just walk around with my phone and use that as my remote to control Canva. So as I walk around the classroom, I can control Canva. I can still go through. I don't have to carry around my computer or anything. I can just use my phone to go through the slides in presentation mode. We're also going to talk about in my session about collaboration, because collaboration is really big in my classroom. And so ways that I use Canva to have students collaborate with one another and do that. And then next slide, please. And then, so what we're going to do is we're going to try to build. So we're going to cover a lot of ground in my session today. It's going to be a little bit of fast paced, but kind of choose your own adventure too for the sandbox time. But we'll be talking about like how I use Canva with like lesson design, talking about how I got students to collaborate using Canva, how I used it for peer feedback and to get kids like giving peer feedback to one another. Of course, we're in this world, so there's AI tools embedded within Canva. So we'll touch very, very briefly on that, and how we can use Canva to share information and much, much more. I use Canva every day. It's probably one of my most used tools, and I even use it personally. I do my Christmas cards on Canva and print through Canva, and I do everything within there because it's cheaper than some of the other Christmas card programs to print directly through them. And so the ability to modify, I don't like getting a template and then just using that template as it is. I have to like modify it and create and change it and make it my own. And so Canva allows me to do that. So, if there's one around the office, I'll look for a Christmas card you guys can see. Oh, actually, I can show you on the Canva thing, but I do it all through there. So for the last several years, I've been using it for Christmas cards. But anyways, that is my session. So come create with me in Canva. We're going to cover a lot of ground, but it's going to be fun.
All right, thank you, Amber. Slam. Okay. Next up, we have Ms. Erica Kraft.
Hi, everyone. So like you said, my name is Miss Kraft. If you ever forget, think arts and crafts because I'm an art teacher. My background is in 3D. So I worked with Boeing Airlines and I did some NASA funded projects as well as a few other things. So my background is working very closely with engineers and scientists to build beautiful art, whether that's through game design or modeling or 3D printing or whatever aspect that is. Okay, so some of the things we're going to be learning in my workshop today: how to make an educator login. How are you going to be able to make a classroom through Tinkercad? How do you navigate a Tinkercad classroom? And how do you link it to Google Classroom? Because you can actually link all these projects to Google Classroom and grade through there and assign things through there. How does a 3D printer actually work? Because I don't know about a lot of you guys, but the kids are into 3D printing. They understand how it works. And sometimes we look at it like, how does that happen? I'm going to give you a quick 10-minute breakdown of how the 3D printer works and why it's important to know when you're picking your models to print. You don't have to necessarily be a 3D designer to print. In fact, my 5-year-old nephew currently is making 3D prints using his iPad. So hopefully, if he can do it, you guys can do it too. Now, we're going to have some 3D printing jump-in links as well. So again, if you don't want to dive into the I'm making my own thing and you just want to know how to print things that are already existing, these links are going to help you jump right in and start printing right away. We're going to do a Tinkercad tutorial run. So Tinkercad is the website that I recommend for beginners who are learning how to do 3D printing. And this is going to allow you to make your own designs or edit pre-existing designs. I'm also going to talk a little bit about using AI to make 3D models, because that's a possibility now too. I'm going to give you links for continued learning. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how 3D printing is being used, because I think a lot of us think, oh, 3D printing, toys. Well, currently 3D printing is being used to create tiny hearts, lungs, organs. It's being used to make houses. They are 3D printing a rocket ship down to every single part. So we're even 3D printing candy, guys. Like, we're 3D printing candy and pizza now. So 3D printing is being used for so many different things. And if you're interested in learning about this to teach your kids to maybe join and do fun projects with them, things like that, this is a great way to do it. Now, before I get into this last slide, I just want to show you a 3D print that I did for Christmas. So this is a beautiful little D&D box. I did not create this one. I only downloaded it and printed it. It even comes with a locking mechanism right here. So I can lock the top because this actually opens. And you can get all the stats you need for your D&D. Each of these are movable. It has mechanical parts inside, and there's a place for your dice. Now, this is just one way we can use 3D, but for example, you can use it with science, you can use it with English, you can use it with all sorts of different things. And people are like, well, how can you use it for science? How can you use it for English? Well, science is a very easy one because we can make models of the human body, plants, things like that, and actually have attached notes for everything. And English, we can make things exactly like the book. Now, our activities: slam, I have a quick video here. I wanted to keep it under 5 minutes for you guys, just that teaches you one quick thing. So I'm actually just going to jump straight into that video, which is the very next slide. But the sandbox will learn how to do our own stuff. So right there. And I don't know, is the volume on this one?
So I don't actually have the proper sharing right now for that, but because we're also kind of short on time, we can let people watch this on their own because everybody has links to the slides.
No worries.
Yeah.
So the very end of this, it just shows you the Shakespeare Globe Theater that I made myself in Tinkercad, as well as a student project where they made their own thing.
That's awesome. Very cool. Thank you. All right. So next up we have Avra. And I will say we have 2 more presenters in about 5 minutes. So just an FYI.
Sounds good. I will keep it short and sweet. If you want to move to the next slide, I'll just kind of go over kind of what I'm hoping we will cover. So basically, we're going to take a look at Kami. And if you're new to Kami, I'll definitely show you the beginner and how to get started. But also, if you've been using Kami for a while, we are going to focus on how we can use Kami through that lens of universal design for learning. So looking for ways to engage students in a multitude of ways. There's so much multimedia in Kami. A lot of times people think of Kami as like PDF annotation. Hey, you can put a text box on a page. And while that's true, there's so much more that you can do with it. We've got audio recording, we've got video recording right within the program. There's a lot that you can do, and there's a lot that honestly I do in Canva and then bring over into Kami. So Kami is really about taking what you already have, and doesn't have to come from Canva. It could be a PDF, it could be a Google slideshow, it could be anything. Bring it into Kami and then be able to distribute it to your students. But then what happens is that you're able to give your kids voice and choice. You can let them be able to respond in different ways. You can record instructions either with a video or with audio. So there's all different ways, and we're going to take a look at all of that. At the very bottom of this page, there is a link there, guys, that's just to the agenda page. The agenda page, and you don't have to click on it, Jen, but it's got a ton of videos on it. So if you don't take the session and you want to click on that page, you can, and it'll just have a ton of videos on how to use Kami. So that'll be something that I share with everybody. But, again, you don't have to click on it now if you don't want. You can go to the next page, and I'm not going to go through all of this. But again, if you want to take a peek at kind of some of the stuff we might be looking at, we've got speech to text, we've got text to speech, right? So there's read aloud, there's voice typing. So there's a lot of accessibility, which is built right into Kami, which then, of course, supports our universal design for learning. So the goal of it will be to look at different ways that you can take what you already have and augment it, right? Make it more accessible for kids, make it more engaging for kids, and hopefully it'll be a really fun session. So come if you'd like.
Woohoo! Thank you. Yes, we love Kami. You can do so much more than just sign your documents. All right, now we have Jessica and Kylie from Edpuzzle.
All right. So I'm actually going to have everyone paint a quick picture for what our session is going to look like. So go ahead, close your eyes, take a quick breath in and out, and think back to the days when you were 15 years old sitting in your science class. You're next to your lab partner. You have no idea what you're supposed to be doing for an upcoming labs. You aren't listening when the teacher was talking. You're a visual learner. You have nothing in front of you to look at. You start the lab, and all of a sudden there's an explosion and an upset teacher. So wouldn't it be nice if you had a video going over what you were supposed to do in that lab, especially one that you would be able to look at with closed captions? You can repeat it as needed if you missed something. Even better if you needed a quiz at the end of that video to make sure you retain that information, and then a slide deck in case that's how you learn better via slides and not video. And then even better, that slide deck had questions, making it interactive. So that's thinking about some students and how they learn in certain situations. Close your eyes again, think back to a few weeks ago. You're in the classroom pre-break. All of the students and teachers are ready for break. You have no idea how you're going to keep students engaged. You want them to have a fun activity that they've never done before, but you literally have no idea where to turn. Then you remember that Edpuzzle has student projects. That's where students become the creators. You assign a student project, the students record themselves with a song describing how they want to come back in 2026. You end up assigning the student project to the class and having each student come up to present that in live mode, keeping the students happy and engaged right before break, which I'm sure you didn't even think was a possibility. So bottom line, Edpuzzle can offer all of these things and more. And our deep dive today is a completely personalized learning experience for everyone who joins. If you've never used Edpuzzle, that's not a problem. We have a personalized pathway for you to sign up with Edpuzzle and get started. If you're an Edpuzzle expert, great. You can dive deeper into our new features such as quizzes and slides. If you're interested in learning about how to use Edpuzzle in the UDL framework, we're also going to have some practical ways on how you can do that. So our session won't be a regular like sit and learn where we do all of the talking. It's going to be completely personalized to your teaching needs. And we know that the best way to learn is within our platform. So we're going to go ahead and get started with a live mode slide deck right in Edpuzzle if you join our deep dives. So we hope you do. The next few slides on here, Jen, are just going over what our new features are, which are quizzes and slides. I was going to jump in quickly into Edpuzzle, but I know we have a minute left. So just come join our session and see what it looks like.
Woohoo! Yeah, you guys have really grown, and your platform has grown a lot. Same with Cami, and all the platforms keep growing. Awesome. Yay, Slam! Okay, so have you decided which of our amazing 7 ones or deep dives you're going to choose from? All of a sudden I can't talk. They are now published on the Sched, so you can go ahead and go to this link, slam26.sched.com, and you can choose your sessions. Whoops. All right, so those will start at 10 o'clock. They will be recorded, reminder to presenters, and you will sign in for that part and then come back at 11 and do your sandbox. I don't know why I can't talk right now. All right. If you have any questions about how the day is going to work or anything, I'll hang around for a minute or two to answer any questions. Otherwise, you have a 15-minute break. So go stand up, stretch, give your eyes a screen break, and then go join your chosen deep dive session at 10 o'clock. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We had, at one point, 151 people on here today. That's awesome.
Dang, I didn't realize it got that high. So many great things. I'm so excited.
I know.
wish
I'm
could
like,
attend
okay,
all of them.
there's like 3 sessions at least that I want to go to right now, but I can't.
I know. We'll record.
I'm just going to cancel my session. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to cancel my session. But it's tempting.
This is the best way to start any semester.
Yeah, it's a nice refresh in the middle of the year. Like the positive win right before semester 2 for sure.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you, everybody. See you in your deep dives.
All right.